Yo, what's up, everybody? So, good evening. And I haven't touched my camera today because something's been sitting heavy on my heart, and I just wanted to express my opinion on the matter. And it has to do with relationships, and it has to do with the fact that right now my son's mother and I have two different viewpoints of our priorities. And both of us are battling to determine how we balance each other's life forcibly, because at the end of the day, I don't want to have to factor in her life, but I have to, and her probably feeling the same way. She also is having challenges, I would assume, so I have to be understanding of that, because it's not easy for either of us to have to balance somebody else's life for our livelihood. But speaking on that, I really wanted to talk about the relationship aspect of my life right now, because not that it is any of anybody's concern, or not that it is of anybody's concern, or not like anybody's asking, but being a single father, or being single as a father, my priority for the past 2 years have been all about my son. And it's been challenging to have to explain that to people, and either you understand or you don't. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't bend or manipulate how you're feeling just because you have a child. So one of the things that's hard for me to do is really balance out putting somebody else's first, putting somebody else's feelings first, or putting somebody that I want to court first. And you might think of that as a basketball term, but to me, courting is all about how the old school was, and that's how I feel like a woman should still be treated. Obviously, I'm not in a relationship, so I'm not perfect, and I have my flaws, and I have big ones, believe me at that. But like I said, this channel was here, and I created it so that we could all progress, and talking about what I struggle with is going to be the best outlet for me to get better. And I know, as well as my exes know, that at some point I might have showed promise or improvement, but I get comfortable often, and getting comfortable is a horrible thing to do in a relationship. You should never get comfortable. And now that I'm focused on only work, it seems like, and this should be this should be the thing that you take away from this clip right now, is that now that I am focused on being goal-oriented, action-oriented, positive, motivational, that I'm focused on grinding alone, working hard, and providing for my son, giving him everything that I can, and doing all of the things that we talk about in the channel, while balancing my family and all of the outings that I've been taking part in, all of a sudden, things are coming into my life. The opposite sex is coming into my life, and I'm still shutting it down. You want to know why? Because I promised myself that I was not going to do anything with anybody, commit to anything with anybody, court anybody, until my son was at an age where I could explain to him, or I could transition him into a new life. Because right now, what good would that do, bringing somebody into something that's not working to begin with? The relationship between my son's mother and I. Like, that is creating or bringing along baggage into something that's new. And you have to think about those things. Oh shoot, I hit my desk. That's why the camera all shook right now. But you have to think about those things, and that's what I'm trying to think about. And even though I'm struggling with it, because I do want to date, I do want to court somebody, I do want to go to the movies, I do want to go to dinner, I ain't that dude that's going to be going to the clubs and spending money. That's not me. Because to me, like, I could go open a tab, run it for a couple $100, but at the end of the day, I could put some boost on my feet, some new clothes and gear on my body. Or I could also freshen up my son, take him to do something that's fun, leave a lasting memory, where instead of one that I'm gonna black out of, like, for me, it's not sensible. And I mean, it doesn't make you a bad person if that's what you do. It's just that for me and the thing that I'm trying to promote and the livelihood or the life that I'm trying to surpass in a sense, which is the old me. And believe me, those things will come. And I'm clapping my fist because I want you to know those things will come. They will come. Somebody will see that you work like that you care like that you are passionate like that. And that's the thing that you want from the person in return, right? And I would hope that when somebody does come along, that's what I will get in return. And I don't want to give somebody baggage and then have somebody bring baggage and then all that we got is drama, and the only thing that we're doing is using an outlet to each other to like talk about all that drama. My dude, like, that's what you call a friend. And yeah, relationships do blossom from friends, but if you're looking for a friendship that's going to blossom into a relationship 3 years later, by all means do those things. That will be beautiful. That will be beautiful in all senses, the struggles, the outcomes, and how it ended up. I love it already. But fairy tales ain't for me. I'm all about being a gentleman and just giving it to you how it is. Like, I am blunt. Sometimes I come off like a dick. Sometimes I don't think before I talk. And all of those things I want to work on. But the biggest thing about me, like I've spoken onto my channel, is that the love that I have is unconditional. Like, I still got love for my son's mom. I see her weaknesses. I see her strengths. I try to exploit the strengths, but sometimes I'm right there hitting on the weaknesses. I know I'm a fucking dick, but it's the same thing for myself. I know where I struggle. I know where I exceed. I just want to help, and I just want to get better. And that's how I see my life, and that's how I see relationships right now. And believe me, as I'm 7 minutes into this clip, I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, I do want to date. But right now, am I here ready to date? No. And if you're a dude who's on this program, if you're a woman that's on this program and you're really trying to think motivationally, you're really trying to be a leader, you're really trying to take your career to the next level, you're really trying to gain success in your life, you're really trying to get everything in order, then do that first. I preach this to my son's mom all the time before we had split up, when we were still trying. Let's do that first. And now I'm sitting here alone trying to still do that. And believe me, it hurts and it's hard and it sucks to be alone. But would I rather fuck with somebody's life, or would I rather fuck up my own and set myself back, dedicating myself to something that I'm just not ready for? Or would I rather just do what I'm doing and have somebody connect with that type of life and help me and blossom what I have going into something that's next level and not even imaginable? Do you understand me? Like, that's how I think, and I'm glad that I have this outlet to talk to you about, because it is my truth. It is how I feel. And yeah, other people are gonna feel different, because other people, like we've talked about in past videos, have a perfect relationship, and it fucking blows my mind. Like my mom and my dad, like my mom used to tell me that they never used to fight, and I'm trying to map that shit out. Like, how you not fight? Yeah, you have disagreements, okay, I get that, but it never led to a fight? How? But there's other people, like other friends that I have, that don't fight with their wife. My boy Shao from the east coast, excuse me, take that, chop it out, from the East Coast, that dude is like a father to me, and he's like my age. You don't understand, like this dude must have been, like, that's why we call him Shaolin. Like, this dude is knowledge on knowledge on knowledge. He's got to have 3 decades of knowledge in his brain, and the way that he pours out his heart humbly is just so amazing to me. But him and his wife have a relationship, like, everybody will stay quiet. Like, what are you talking about? You don't understand what we're talking about? And he's like, nah, dude, me and my wife don't have those issues. Because why? Because they have a genuine love that when they started, that's the way that they still are. You understand? Like, they made each other great, and now they are basking in that greatness and just chilling on what they do and what they know, and that's what I want. So when we talk about relationships, if you're on this program and you are on a relationship, please have your partner join in on this motivation, on this program, on this leadership, on this fundamental life that we want to build. Because when two people are doing this together, when the train or the locomotive gains power, there is no stopping it. And that's what I want. So as we go forward, and as you journey into my life, and as I open up sometimes at night, or as I open up sometimes during the day when my son's mother makes me mad and I have no one else to talk to except my people, I'm telling you, everything will come in due time. But believe me, you would rather all day, every day, all night, through the night, you would rather have something that is built off of this than to have something that is built off of nothing. And I might cut that out, or I might not. If it makes sense to me when I watch it the second time, like it made sense to me right now, then I'll leave it. But you can't. You cannot. And I can't. When I say you can't, I mean I'm talking to myself sometimes when I watch and I edit and I'm looking at myself and I'm laughing or I'm smiling or I'm like, damn, I'm right. You cannot expect that something that isn't there, something that is not what you want, something that is not what you expected, something that makes you change in a way that is not what you want. You cannot let yourself start a relationship with that. You have to have something, somebody that will bring you to a place that you want it to be in a year from now, just with their presence. Just with the way that you look at them, just with the way that they look at you, just with the way that they make you feel. And believe me, that's not gonna be everything, because I know, having previous relationships, that it will be a struggle, that there won't always be agreements and everything. But the conversation and the way that I talk to you guys is, I hope one day, a fraction of what I'll be giving my partner. Because everything that I want to build is got to have a strong foundation. And the strong foundation starts with, guess who? You. I got to make sure that the fingers can be seen in the camera. So good night. And thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much for listening. This was a beautiful thing that I needed to talk about. But it also is a real thing that I needed to talk about. And I'm glad you stayed in. I'm glad that you stayed tuned and watched the entire video.